Dividing Fractions with Bar Models. This is a digital lesson. It's a lot of fun for the students. They can use the fill color feature of Google Slides, choose their colors, and it's a good conceptual way to teach them division of fractions. So the lesson starts with just division of whole numbers. So we have 8 equal sections here, students can count them, and we want to divide them into sections of 2. So they're going to click and hold in one of the squares, scroll across until they have it highlighted, and then come up here to this fill color feature, click on it, and they're going to choose a color. We're going to select another 2 and we're going to color in a different color. So click and hold, scroll across. So we're dividing this 8 into sections of 2. And another 2. And now we have 4 equal groups, so our answer is 4. They're going to do the same thing on the next slide. They've got 9, they can count them, 9 equal groups. They're going to be dividing them into groups of 3. So click and hold, they're going to scroll across until they have 3 highlighted. Choose a color, another 3, and another 3. And so we want to count the number of groups. We have 3 groups, so our answer is 3. Now when we get into fractions, here we have ninths. So students can count them. There are 9 ninths, which represents 1 whole. So 9 equal groups, each one is 1 ninth, and we want to find 8 ninths. So students are going to start by highlighting 8 of these sections, 8 ninths. So they click and hold, they're going to scroll across, try that again, scroll across until they have 8 highlighted, fill it with a color, any color. Now this is what we're dividing. We don't want to deal with this last square because we're only looking at 8 ninths. So we're going to take our 8 ninths and we're going to divide them into groups of 2 ninths. So every 2 ninths needs to be a different color. And let's try something different. Now we can see that our 8 ninths have been divided into 2 ninths, and there are 4 equal sections, so our answer is 4. The next slide we have sixth, so we want to highlight 4 sixths because that's what we're dividing. So we're just going to color in 4. And now we want to divide it into groups of 2 sixths. So 2 of these we want to have a different color. And 4 sixths divided by 2 sixths gives us 2 equal groups, and our answer is 2. They're going to do this again on the next slide with 8s. They want to highlight 6 of these squares and divide them into groups of 3 eighths. Now we have 12s. So we want to divide this into, we've got 12 equal groups. We want to highlight 9 of them. So we're just going to color in 9 squares out of the 12. Of those 9, we're going to divide them into groups of 3 twelfths each. And we can see that we have 3 groups, so our answer is 3. Same thing on the next slide. Now, this one is a little bit tricky, so you want the students to put on their thinking caps. We have 7 ninths divided by 3 ninths. Now, we're not going to get a whole number answer. So we want to start out with highlighting 7 ninths. Click and hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we want to turn that into a color, any color. Of those 7 ninths, we want to highlight groups of 3 ninths. So here would be 3 of those ninths. Here's another 3 ninths. And we can't get any more than that. Let's make this a different color so we can see they're all different sections. So our answer is going to be 2. We've got 2 equal groups, and 1 out of 3 left over. That would be 1/3. So we've got 2 and 1/3. Yeah, I'll have to fix that. Okay, 2 and 1/3. I think it was a different font that's not going to happen. So 2 and 1/3. So that one's a little bit tricky. You want students to think about that one. Now, when we get to the next slide, we're going to have students look at some patterns. So we found out that 8/9 divided by 2/9 equals 4. If we multiply 8/9 times 9 over 2, we also get 4. So what happened here? 6/8 divided by 3/8 we found out was 2, but 6/8 times 8 over 3 also equals 2. So we can see that dividing these fractions is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal of our second fraction. We're just going to flip that second fraction so that denominator's now in the numerator, numerator's now in the denominator. We get the same answer. So if we're dividing fractions, we can use this method in order to solve. So if we look at this, another way to look at this is invert and multiply. We're going to take the second fraction, invert it, or flip it upside down, and then multiply. And on the very last slide, students are going to be doing this. They're going to take the second fraction, invert it, and multiply, and then make sure that their answers are simplified. So let's see one we have to simplify. Let's look at this one. If we invert that second fraction, we're going to get 10 over 12, but we need to simplify. So if we divide the numerator and denominator by 2, we get 5/6. So they want to make sure that their answer is simplified. So that is a digital lesson, dividing fractions with bar models.